Welcome to the Old Iron Level channel. This is Bob, and I'm here today to show you the first episode in a series I'm going to maybe call Cool Tools and Interesting Stuff. And we'll focus on whatever kind of cool tools I run across or interesting parts, equipment, techniques, whatever. Change the name if it doesn't work. But today we're going to take a look at a pipe threader. Got this for $10 at an estate sale. And at first the reason I got it is because the only pipe threader I have is an old, well, I'll say old, it's fairly new, but fairly worn out Taiwanese import. And it really wears my arms out to work that thing, so I think the dies are all dull on it. Anyway, this thing here, I started looking at it, and the first thing I noticed, actually the very first thing I noticed was, I'll shoot this up close to you, the patent date on here. U.S. patent March 909. Yeah, this was patented in 1909. And then the second thing I noticed was the thing is selectable to go to 4 different sizes of pipe thread. And after that I thought, well, this is kind of cool. On the main body of it, it says the Bordon Company, Warren, Ohio, USA. And the Bordon Company started in 1901, and they started out with 5 employees and in an old closed plumbing shop, the building that a plumbing shop used to occupy. Within about 6 months, he had 11 employees and twice as much space. Within a year, he had 4 times as much space as he started out with, and quite a few employees. And within a year, a couple more years, he had 50 employees, including some salesmen or their representatives that were actually going overseas. Their products had started becoming very popular, and I forget the date, but it was in the early 1900s. They mentioned that they were one of the early occupants of the then new Flatiron building in New York City, and this was the headquarters for their East Coast sales and their European sales. So in a period of less than a decade, they had gone from a mom and pop operation in an old plumbing store to an international manufacturing firm. They made all kinds of pipe threading equipment and probably other stuff too, but they made, the article I read about them mentions that they were selling heavy-duty pipe threaders, 2, 4, 6, and 8-inch pipe, and they were selling to people who either installed a lot of pipe or maybe were manufacturing pipe. So they were in the business whole hog. And this is one of their more popular hand tools. And this right here, it says the Beaverette number 6. And they eventually, the name changed and it became the Beaver Tool Company. And in 1935, the name changed either to the Beaver Tool Company or it had already changed and it changed to something else. I don't remember the story. But the business continued on into I think into the 50s anyway, and quite possibly beyond that. Now, this tool is not unique in the plumbing world in that there are modern tools that have the same functionality. What's unique about this is, as far as I can tell, it was the first one, and it was very well made. I've had this together and apart and playing with it, and it's way easier to thread a piece of 3/4 inch pipe with this than it is my Taiwanese version. So just thought you might find it interesting to see how it goes together, what makes it tick, and to that end, I'm going to switch cameras here and get you close up so you can see it. So here we are back. Here's the body, and it's got pieces that go on both sides. One side has a cam type arrangement that runs these 3 shoes. And the idea there is you're able to adjust it so these act as a guide on the pipe as you feed the pipe into the machine, and to center it. And it's adjustable to whatever sizes it needs to be. I think we'll start by putting that piece in. Got the 3 shoes. They're a good fit, which is kind of interesting, but you know, you tend to think of old machinery as, you know, not being made very well or to any, you know, particular, you know, to specifications or tolerances and things, but this is actually very well made. All right, let's see if I got this thing where it'll move properly now. There we go. So it goes in and out like so. So I'm going to put the other parts together. It has a little Waverly washer here, and that its job is to put a little tension on this so that it has some tendency to stay where you put it as far as adjusting it. Got 3 little screws that hold it together. When I took this thing apart, it had some paint left on it, not much, and I thought I've wanted to try Japanning, so I ordered some Japanning paint, which is a real thick paint. This particular one is black. It has carbon black in it, and it is quite thick. They say you can thin it with mineral spirits if you want, but I did it by hand. Painted by hand with some small brushes, and it went on fairly thick, but it actually flowed fairly nicely too. Now if we got this right, it should slide and it should stay put when we get through, and there it is. So I knocked a little pin back in. So now we'll go to the other side and put in the threading dies. Now, I'll show you this real quick. The threading dies, there's actually 2 sets of them in here. There's 4 dies on each set. The fine threaded ones for 1/4 and 3/8 inch pipe are 14 threads per inch, and the coarse ones for 1/2 and 3/4 inch pipe are 12 threads per inch. And this selector dial allows you to adjust which set of dies is engaged at the moment and how far they're engaged. And the nice thing about it, you notice they're all numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on the body it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're going to start out by just sticking these things in here. And this little groove around here looks to be kind of an index mark for the little marks on the back of the tools, the dies. So there's number 2, and I'll show you why in a minute. Number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. There's a little 0 pointer right here and another one right here, and I believe the idea is when you're assembling this is you can line up the zeros and you'll be pretty close to having these things all working just perfectly. Okay, now before I start playing with this too much, I'm going to go ahead and get the retainer in so it doesn't lose its timing. If you get it a little too tight, it just doesn't work right. But one little bit looser and it works just like a charm. This little screw, kind of the head of the screw, kind of sticks out over the edge of the retainer here and keeps it. The head of the screw drops in these notches, and it makes it so once you've set it there, once you put the screw in, it turns out it makes it a little tighter, so you can't really get the final adjustment with it set there. I don't remember where it was that it had to be to work right. There we go. Okay, now in the 0 position, all the dies are all the way in. In the 1/4 inch position, this set of dies, the low numbered set, is in closer. The 3/8 position, it draws back a little further. The 3/4 inch position, they're back out of the way, and these dies are in place. And the 1/2 inch position, those dies are in a little further, so they all engage. There's also a position here called extra 1/8, so I assume that you could order a special set of dies for 1/8 thread. I'm going to try to get this 1 notch tighter and see if that causes problems or not. Yeah, it just locks it right up. That works like a champ. And then once you get it set to the adjustment you want, this little tapered shoe here drops in and goes against this beveled cut here and allows you to kind of lock it in place. And the nice thing about these adjustable ones is you can go, if you need threads that are a little bit over or a little bit undersized, you can go a little bit one side or the other of the actual 0 point. Anyway, the last piece here is to screw this clamp on, and now it's stuck. It won't slide around on you, lose adjustment. It came with one piece of 1/2 inch pipe in it for a handle, and I suspect it wasn't the original handle in the first place, so I grabbed another one and have 2 handles, and looking forward to using this for threading my pipe from now on. That's about it. If you like this, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave your comments, and looking forward to some more of these coming along. This is episode 1, the Bordon Company Beaverette number 6 pipe threader. Thank you very much for watching, and check back often.